So the Erica Hamby is suing the Las Vegas Aces, and there was an update to the lawsuit. There was an update to the lawsuit, and it says here. Well, I'm looking at it from Reddit right here, where it's gonna show everything. So apparently somebody who is an attorney located a public version of the full thing, of the full court, and has put in a TLDR on Reddit. Well, sorry, two people have, but someone did put a TLDR. Yesterday, the court in the Hamby lawsuit ruled on the motions to dismiss filed by Aces and some of the related motions filed by Hamby. As an attorney, I have access to the docket and rulings, but I don't know how to upload or link it, so I cannot find an article in the ruling. I cannot use my professional Dropbox for Reddit, sorry. Short version. The WNBA's motion was granted in full, meaning the WNBA is no longer defendant in the lawsuit. And that made sense. I don't know why she was going after the WNBA. I'm pretty sure we read at the time that it was very obvious in their contracts that players are not employees of the WNBA, but are employees of their individual teams. I was pretty sure that was it was going to be thrown out. Hamby's discrimination claim against the Aces survived, but some aspects of her retaliation claims were dismissed. However, the court granted Hamby leave to amend, particularly when it comes to the timing of certain events. Below is a long version, more detail. A reminder that the motion to dismiss the factual allegations in this complaint are accepted as true. That does not mean that they are true, and Hamby will still have to prove a case at trial. The court is simply deciding whether, based on her allegation, the plaintiff has plausible claim. The court found that Hamby's plausibly stated claims for discrimination based on pregnancy. So in ruling, the court found it plausible based on allegations that the trade harmed her in the conditions of her employment and caused Hamby harm beyond the trade itself because she was playing for a less competitive team. The court also found it plausible that Hammond was a decision maker with respect to the trade, was authorized to communicate the view of decision makers and or influence the decision to trade Hamby. It's also found it plausible the Aces knew about her pregnancy and that it motivated the team to trade her. Okay, if this is true, Becky Hammond, you probably should take that Spurs. You probably should go for that Spurs job. Go for that Spurs job, Becky. Go for that Spurs job, Becky. People are pushing you. Retaliation. Hamby's plausibly alleged that she engaged in protected activity through posting on her social media opposing the Aces treatment of her following her pregnancy announcement, as well as the decision to trade her, stating she believed these actions to be discriminatory. It's also found she plausibly alleged a casual link between her protected activity and 2 of the 5 instances of alleged retaliation. She's failed to do so for at least 3 alleged instances. The 2 instances where she showed the casual link, the White House visit and the video screen incident, both happened after social media posts. The 3 where she didn't, because she didn't allege dates, was the alleged directive to Aces players and staff to cease communication with her, the alleged public comment by the Aces general manager implying Hamby and the Aces were aware of her pregnancy since June 2022, and the Aces attempt to obtain her medical records. The court gave Hamby until June 6th to amend her complaint. So it sounds like they just find some evidence of this or like remove them. But obviously the claim is a weird one. I never understood this one. It said the WNBA's failure to properly investigate. Like, they literally took a draft pick off them and they banned Becky Hammond for a while. They suspended her. So I don't know what more you can do if you're the WNBA, because again, I don't think Becky Hammond is the GM. I think she was the coach. So I don't know. I think they can't veto the trade after the fact, like. But a retaliation claim based on non-renewal of her marketing contract was dismissed because she failed to include those allegations in her EEOC complaint. Those failed to exhaust her administrative remedies. Both claims against W were dismissed with prejudice because the court found amendment to the pleadings would be futile. Thus, short of a successful appeal, the WNBA is not a caseless party. W will almost certainly be subjected to third-party discovery. Yeah, like, I don't understand why the WNBA was in the lawsuit in the first place. Like, I'm not a lawyer, but that just never made sense. Just because of, like, we've seen what's written in players' contracts. Just because of the way players' contracts are written, it just was confusing to me. But barring an appeal, the case proceeds. In a previous ruling, the court stayed discovery until it ruled on a motion to dismiss. Now the court has ruled the parties must file proposed joint discovery plan scheduling order by May 20, 2025. So that seems like it's going to go to court. It seems like it is going to court. And also, by the way, this actually seems relatively straightforward to follow what's going on. So shout out to whoever did this. Whenever the Hamby trade lawsuit comes up, think about how the Aces impatience with her cost him a short meteor. Yeah. All they had to do was not trade her. All they had to do was not trade her, and they would have had the best starting five in WNBA history in 2020. Realistically, 2023. She didn't miss any time. I wonder when the Aces are going to do their annual, we're somehow underdogs and victims. Can you share any insights about how trading might be retaliation? If she were waived, I get it, but how would having a temp inactive player trade be retaliation? They're alleging that the reason for the trade was pregnancy and that she was harmed by the trade because she went from championship team to the Sparks. So it will be interesting with all this. And by the way, I can kind of see why Aces fans are kind of pissed at Hamby. But unfortunately, it is in their CBA. Like, rules are the rules. And if any of this was, if any of this was not, like, to be honest, if any of this was a team that I supported and a player was suing the team for just getting traded, because obviously, look, plenty of teams have traded players that have been injured because they've been injured. However, obviously, with the way the CBA is when it comes to pregnancy, and rightfully so, just from like employment law, rightfully so, you can't really do that. But well, it's not looking good for the Aces. It is not looking good for the Aces. And the fact the Aces tried to get it dismissed and they couldn't. It is not looking good, and I don't know what the outcome of this will be. I would assume it's just going to be paying Hamby a lot of money. Like, that would be my assumption. I don't think it's going to be anything more than that. I don't think the Aces, they've already lost their first round pick I'm pretty sure they've lost 2 first round picks in a row. I can't remember the last time the Aces had a first round pick. Was it 2023 maybe? Am I right in saying their last first round pick they took the worst pick in their history, considering her protected contract? Am I right in saying that the Aces, when did the Aces take Kirsten Bell? Or was it 2022? So they didn't have a first round pick in 2023, didn't in 2024, and didn't in 2025. I'm just going to see, is it 2022? What year was she in? Was Kirsten Bell in 2022? At least this is her final year, so they can get rid of her. But yeah, the Aces really just have not done the greatest job. Yeah, Kirsten Bell was their last first round pick. And to be fair, I'm looking through, outside of like Naz Hillman. Oh, Nelson Adoda's pretty good. Naz Hillman, Nelson Adoda, or 2 of the international flyers on Kone or Jade Melbourne. Not like there were that many great people in that draft, but I wonder what the punishment's going to be. If they take even more drafts off them, or draft picks off them, it's crazy. But yeah, it's not looking great for the Aces. And the fact this going to Discovery, it might not be good. It might not work out well for Hamby, but it also is probably not going to work out well for the Aces either, if we're being honest. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Obviously, I only saw this now. It's like 7 p.m. I do have a video on what Swoop said coming up about an hour after this, which I plan to do which I plan to get out first, but actually no, I have no idea. One of those videos is going to be out now. The other is going to be a Swoops video. I don't know which one's coming out first. But anyway, I'll see you guys.